and it was like, so there was no questions to be asked. There was no words, no questions, no speaking. It was, because there wasn't even a frame of reference for the body that had left. There wasn't even a memory of anything of this world. And so it was just an experience of pure love. I try to describe, I try to describe, but I can't. And this oneness, as the Christ and the Father, the oneness of it and the love, and it's just like I was home. And I don't know how, like the prodigal son felt when he returned, but it was like there was nothing to fear in going home to God. Nothing to fear, you know. There was no guilt. There was, you know, it was just pure love and acceptance. It was like one big freaking party. I went into this, I don't even know what to call it, this state of oneness, like almost felt like a void of some sort, but I can't say nothing about it. I can't say anything about it. There's nothing that I can say. But then I seem to be, I don't know, I seem to be in it, or I was it, I just don't know, but there didn't seem to be any time or anything. The next thing I knew was I was back into this form of, you know, when Jesus came in the form to me, we're back in that, and sat on this riverbank, and we had our feet in the water. Jesus gave me this Lemurian crystal healing wand, and he said, I am a healer on earth, and you are as I. Didn't understand what he meant. Obviously, I was him, and you know, and I was here to heal, and with that, I was back. It was like the click of a finger. I was back, and I was on the bed. I'd gone to bed at 10 p.m. that night, and when I came back into the experience of my bed, it was like 9 a.m. the following morning. Because the curtains were open, the sun was streaming down on my face, and I was just full of joy, full of love, full of happiness. I was absolutely ecstatic, and all this fear and contraction and the past and the haunting of it was just gone. It was just being washed away. But instantly I was in the right mind, and I had all these psychic abilities. They just came from nowhere. I mean, I don't know where they came from. They were just very intense psychic abilities, the whole gamut. I get up out of my bed, and I put on my dressing gown, and I walk down the stairs, and I'm starting to think in my rational mind. I'm starting to think, what the hell just happened? Is it real? What's going on? And then I thought, oh, I'm never going to be able to speak of this. because there's going to be a needle up my ass, a straitjacket on, and somebody's going to be carrying me away. And but as I got down the stairs, it's sort of another out of this world experience sort of came, and it was this huge cylinder appeared, and it looked like it was made from black granite, and it was massive, and it extended like it through the ceiling. It's like the ceiling wasn't there, and it was phenomenally huge, and yet there was some light around the bottom. Obviously it's circular because it's cylindrical shape, but there was this light around the bottom and the top, and I just went, what is that? And as I said it, the entire structure changed. It was still a cylinder shape and still had light, but the granite became a very thick, black, heavy curtain. It had lots of folds in it, but there was still this light behind the curtain, and I became aware that there was somebody behind there. And I said, "Who is it?" And with me saying that, this curtain just fell to the floor, and there was Jesus on this cross. He was nailed to this cross, and he had like the loincloth and the thorns in his head, and his head was tilted to the left and slumped forward, and it appeared that he was dead. And I was staring into his face really very intently, and I suddenly had this knowing that Jesus wasn't dead and that he can never be dead. I just looked at him and I said, "He's not dead." And with that, he just lifted his head, opened his eyes, and he stepped down off this cross effortlessly, and he became robed in these gowns again, and his crown of thorns became white lilies, and he just came to me and he said, "My resurrection is your resurrection." And with that, he turned and he walked away, and it seemed to walk into the nothingness from which he came. And to me at the time, I didn't realise how profound that statement was, or what it even meant to me. I just felt completely blessed to have had this experience. There was no goodbyes really. There was no he wasn't coming and saying, "Hello, this is how it really is, and bye now, I'm going." There was this intense knowing that the Christ was with me, and he had never left. In fact, he'd been through the entire experience with me, and that he was only really popping in to say, "Hello, here I am, and here I'll always be." So there was no sadness because I thought he'd gone and wasn't coming back. It was just this intense knowing that he was here now with me. It just felt amazing. And I was sat in the lounge, and the letterbox went, and there's this sound of it dropping on the doormat, and I went through, and the book was here, Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and I thought, that's a miracle. I only ordered it last night, and it said 5 to 6 days, and there it was on my doormat. And I had this intense feeling that Jesus was going to bring to me everything I needed, and this book was all part of it, because it was ordered the day before and it arrived right on cue. And I sat on my sofa, and I read it from cover to cover in about an hour. Real, I don't know what. I just seem to have this ability all of a sudden, but and this book was about manifesting, but it didn't carry that message for me. It carried a much deeper message, a profound message to me, and it was that I've been lied to, I've been lied to, and that I'm responsible for everything through the power of my own thinking, through the power of my own mind, that I've been responsible for the entire experience. And what I believed created my experience. And it was so profound and deep. It was like somebody switched a light switch on, and I instantly knew that I'd done this to myself. And I was like, holy cow. And Jesus was there. Do you get it? Do you get it? And I was like, holy cow. And he was like, if I've done this to myself, then I can change my mind and undo this. And this dark cloud that's followed me all my life appeared to be persecuting me. I was in control, and I was saying no more. And like, oh man, I was running around my house like a headless chicken, screaming, I'm free, I'm free. And the line, like, the truth will set you free, is like, my God, yeah, oh, you can imagine it was just like one miracle to another miracle to another miracle. And I mean, I was higher than you could possibly get. I was bouncing and floating around and beaming with just joy and just love and joy. And the funny thing is, I could hear Jesus speaking to me, continuously speaking to me, guiding me, telling me what to do and where to go. And it was just, I don't know, I've just gone from this intense period of contraction and fear into this complete state of I can't even, what is it? I mean, I've heard David saying that he studied the course for 8 hours a day for 2 years before he heard this guidance. Yeah, I seem to have it instantaneously. So it was, yeah, it's been hugely awesome. What can you say? What can you say other than that? Of course, the amazing thing is that, well, Jesus began teaching me one-on-one. And he also went through this amazing period of manifestation. But he was teaching me one-on-one all these lessons, and he was really bringing home the course to me, Course in Miracles, which I've never heard of. But I had this huge resistance to it. But when I finally did pick it up, I was blown away, because all the one-on-one lessons that I'd had with Jesus and the lessons out of the actual book. And then when I looked at the experience of developing trust, it says the stages you go through. It was exactly the stages what happened to me in the aftermath of what this experience. And so I was completely blown away. Obviously, being guided just to share my story so far, and I will be sharing everything that happened, and all the experiences and all the washing away of ego. But I think we're about to click off again on my 30-minute time, so that's going to be another show. So yeah, that'll be part 4, I guess.